My favorite type of Megazords are the ones that have a sleek, consistent design that work well with the season. They're combining features that don't clash with the aesthetics or make them really bulky. A lot of times the toy versions are top heavy, so you get problems standing them up. Also, them being an original designs. The more different, the better I like the Zords. But if they go into a really weird direction, like say Megaforce, I don't like it either. It's a hard balance.
Max Solar Zord.
This is one of the few times I love the Zord mode over the Megazord mode. It was cool that they stuck with the traditional design of space shuttles. It makes it feel more believable, and it fits into Lightspeed's functional rescue motif than, say, the Astro Megazord. That's more of a cool fantasy baseline. The best part of the Zord is the solar panels. The toy version has rainbow reflective stickers, the engines are a nice compact design, and it combines with the Super Train to allow deployment of the Megazords. Its warrior mode is simple, but it functions good. I like that it has a shield and it makes up for its smaller frame, and that it has a combining mode with the Rescue Megazord. The only drawback is that it doesn't have legs. It's one solid piece. That's one of the major drawbacks in toy designs. They need to accommodate for secondary features that gimp the human form.
Mezodon Megazord.
This is a really different design take on a Zord. It's a chariot, two pieces that form into one. It doesn't make sense with dinosaurs, but it doesn't clash, so I never had complaints. It's a really nice display piece, if you have the Japanese version, of course. One of the few Megazords that does red chrome on top of the generous amount of gold chrome, plus it has a motor function. It's the best of both worlds. Drivemax mode is a cool alternate mode, but as toy form, it's kind of bulky. The double axis used for the spinning action is a really nice action feature. I count the Mezodon Megazord as the bling of PR Zords.
Astro Megazord.
The best mobile base of operations. It's a nice stark contrast to other sci-fi spaceships. Light blue with a round shape, grungily lived-in look, defense cannons for protection, and a really weird docking bay for the shuttle. I always thought hungry hippos whenever they brought the shuttle in. It's one of the easier transformations. The shuttle flies out and the ship splits open and lowers down. The light-up M on the chest was a nice bonus. It came with a laser, sword, and shield. Pretty rare that a Megazord has both gun and sword for finishers. My favorite part is that they got the shield and gun storable in Zord mode. It's a personal complaint when you display them split up but you have no place to store the weapons.
Thunder Megazord.
This one was very different from the original Megazord. They went with mystical beasts. The Red Dragon Thunder Zord had a warrior mode that could fight independently from the others. It also had the Thunder Assault mode. You got this cool flying platform so the others don't feel useless, which was an issue with the original Megazord. T-Rex would do most of the work. Then the main Thunder Megazord mode. Its best feature was the sword. It came with the sheath, so you had a place to store it in. It was nice looking. This Megazord felt more like a person because of that. It had more realistic flowing human moves. It also had a secondary staff weapon, an excellent replacement from Season 1. The secondary combos were all nice. They added onto its impressive look. When the Firebird finisher was used, you knew the monster was doomed.
Time Force Megazord.
I really like this one, but most people don't. Even in Japan, the Time Ranger toys didn't sell that much. The TF Megazord from a design perspective is amazing. Not only is it 5 individual Zords, it can also form into a jet, 2 different Megazord mode types, along with the Time Shadow. So in total, it has 6 modes it can transform into. Their designs are very different to what usually is done. Simple, gray, and sleek, with not much detail. It's one of the few Megazords that can use minifigures. The sword acted like a clock as it counted down to freeze monsters. It used a lot of die-cast parts in the Japanese version, so it's very sturdy for its size, and the shield is a part of 2 flyers, so it's all integrated together. It still holds up looking like it's from the future.
Megazord.
When you look at the original Megazord, it oozes 90s. Let's take some dinosaurs and a few other animals, turn them into robots, now stick them together. It shouldn't work, but somehow it does. As individual Zords, their looks are great. They're boxy, but that adds to their appearance. They don't feel over-designed like a futuristic car would. Each one has useful features. Saber-toothed tiger and the Triceratops have tail lasers. Mastodon can freeze. Pterodactyl can shoot lasers. And T-Rex has its sonic breath. My favorite part is tank mode. They need extra power. They gain 2 giant cannons and then their eye lasers. Then it flows right into the Megazord mode. The interesting thing about Megazord, it doesn't look like a dinosaur anymore. While later dino seasons like Dino Thunder and Dino Charge, you could still see all the animals, but Megazord conceals things better in a more cleaner look. I still don't get why the head has horns. It's the only thing that doesn't make much sense. Its other combinations are pretty useful. Sometimes secondary combos don't feel like they add much, like the Ostrich and Gosager. Dragozord Battle Mode gives them a drill finisher, Mega Dragozord acts as armor, and vaporizes the targets.
Samurai Megazord.
I hate the season, but I love the Zord designs. That actually happens a lot with me. Samurai uses different types of assorted animals, some actually being new as a primary Zord, like the turtle. The best part is the origami modes that they can transform into if you have the Japanese versions. It keeps the toys compact so they fit in your hand. I also like that they have an interesting texture feel on the emblems. They're just not painted on. The helmet and sword are a part of the Dragon Zord. It comes in handy for storage. For Megazord mode, it is stiff. There's not much movement with the arms, and the legs just don't do anything. The Samurai Megazord is basically a display piece versus functionality. The extra combos with the other animals, they're not bad, just not really important. Some are better than others. The bonus mode with Daigoyo, not important at all. It does make you think about the Thunder Megazord having that ready pose with the sword. It's easy to transform and looks flashy.
Super Train Megazord.
I remember when I first saw the Super Train used in Lightspeed Rescue. It's my favorite moment in PR. The way it flies off the rails, transforming mid-flight, then landing on the 4 tracks. It has so many fun features. It can house the Rescue or Megazords. It can hook up to the Max Solar Zord for extra power, plus become a Megazord itself. It is a bulky design, but it looks impressive with the rocket launcher and turbine motor finisher. It's one of the larger Zord toys, which makes it stand out more in a collection. It's a fun display piece that complements the rest of the Lightspeed line.
Storm Megazord.
Probably one of the weirdest Megazord designs. The hawk, dolphin, and a lion. They all look like they belong in a carnival setting. It's surprising that the Red Ranger got the smallest Zord. The main feature being the power spheres is why I love this season a lot. Each side weapon had a purpose, each one being different animals, and even helped in the secondary combinations. Everything did something. Another thing, in Japan, Hurricane was one big nod to Jew Ranger. They had the Shinobi medals, like the medallions in Jew Ranger. They both had the Green Rangers that died, and a final combination with a large, motorized mecha. The toys were really detailed, all kinds of chrome and die-cast parts for the Japanese versions, rubber treads for the Thunder Zords. The Lion had this cool ripcord feature that could be added on with the other combos. It was a really good moment when the two teams were able to work together into the Thunderstorm Megazord, my personal favorite mode of the Zords.
Drivemax Megazord.
Of all the Megazords so far, the Drivemax Megazord is my favorite one, ironically coming from a season I don't like. All the vehicles are really nicely designed. For the Japanese versions, the US toys are a different story. They follow the construction motif, they don't try to shoehorn in random stuff like Ninja Steel. The main reason why I love them is because it doesn't have a cluster mess when it combines for other modes. Super Drivemax, Dual Drivemax, and Drivemax Ultra Zord aren't just stuff on top of stuff like, say, the RPM Ultra Zord. It's a nice, clean, final combination, which I think the later seasons don't get right. They try to consistently one-up on combinations by going for the, oh my god, they just did 12 Zords together. The overdrive vehicles look great alone in the rare trailer mode, all the way up to Battle Fleet, and each vehicle does something cool. Dump Driver can use the basket, Drill can spin, the Crane has an extending arm with a rope. There's so many more Zords and Megazords that I'd love to put on this list, but these are my 10 favorite. I don't care if I hate the season. If I love the designs, I love the designs no matter what. What are some of your favorite Zords, Megazords, and combinations? And if you have a suggestion on what future topic you'd like me to cover, leave a comment down below. Next week, I'll be talking about my 10 favorite minions.